You come back on board, and if you didn't have a talk beforehand, it's explained to you. That's been amazing. And to have a guest lecturer, an Indigenous guest lecturer, is wonderful.
If you find a pepperbark tree, it stores a lot of water, fresh water.
Goyma's been wonderful with all his knowledge.
So for us, it's about interpreting, through storytelling and demonstrations and workshops and just getting the full experience.
One of the other amazing things about having Goyma on board is that he'll pick up some sticks and leaves and make it into a traditional medicine.
When you're feeling sick, very sick, this is what we used to do. Stringy bark. This thing is very powerful, bush medicine. Cutting it. So once the Mikassans came from Indonesia, they brought this yiki. We call this yiki knife. Not only knife, tobacco, and many other things. So they were like our guys from Bunnings.
He's got such a wonderful personality. He's great.
Sitting through some of their onboard presentations, you're so much more attuned the next day when you go into a region, and it just really adds to the experience when you're out on an excursion.
So I worked with the Coral Expedition through adopted father of mine, whose name is Ian Morris. Ian kind of became adopted by my grandparents, and my grandfather was Ian's mentor.
In order to learn Indigenous science up there, I had to be good at language. I began learning the Indigenous languages very young. Then the old men could talk to you and tell you all the fine details. They didn't know how to say it in English. And that's what happened in Australia. English dominated, and it meant that Indigenous people weren't able to express all the fine details that they had. And it's very sad because the price we had to pay for that sort of linguistic ignorance was we lost all the knowledge that they had accumulated over 65,000 years of managing this land. It was the key to the whole environment. And it sort of stopped with language. So I was really keen to learn that stuff, their language and their science. And I was in heaven.
So that's how I got to know Ian, and that's how I got to learn from him as well.